Back. In this video, we'll be solving question 2, which says that we should construct a triangle whose base is 90 if its altitude and one of its base angles are 45 degrees and 60 degrees respectively. It says we have been given the base to be 90. All these units are in millimeters, and the altitude and one of its base angles are 45 and 60 degrees. Now, how do we construct this one? Sorry, there's a mix-up in the question. It's not just angle. One of the base angles, vertical angle, it is vertical angle. And its vertical angle is 60. That means since it says altitude and its vertical angle, the first one is altitude, which is 45, and the second one is 60 degrees, which represents the vertical angle. So we use that to construct it. So the first thing we'll do, we'll draw a line at any angle, any length of line. Pick the starting point. This is my starting point now, and I'll measure my base, because the first thing I'm given here is my base, which is 90. So I'll measure 90 from that point. From here, I'll measure 90, which will end on 10, because I started from 1. So there. After doing that, I'll now measure I'll construct 60 degree at the bottom, vertical angle at this point. You stay here now. I will stay here and draw an arc. I want to draw 60 degree upside down. After drawing the arc with the same radius of the circle, I'll come to this point. When I come to this point, I'll mark another arc on that one, on this one. If I mark it like that, definitely it will give me 60 degrees. So I'll draw it like this, and this angle is 60 degrees. Now, the next thing for me to do now is to construct 90 degree. Complete this angle is 60. I need to add 30 to it so that it will be 90 degrees. How do I do that? To do that, let me use my protractor this time around. So I'll put it on this one. You see, this black cross at the bottom here, I'll make sure I put it at the corner of where my angle will be. Then this line at the bottom, this black line, I'll let it be on the line. So I'll place it like this. You can see it is like this. Then I'll start my counting from here, and my 90 will end here. This is 90 degrees. Can you see it? You mark the point of 90. After marking it, you draw it like this, like that. That's my 90. So the next thing, I'll need to bisect my base. I'll bisect my base. So I need to open my compass more than half of the base. You open it more than half of the base. You mark an arc above, and let me stay very well, shifting. Above and below. Now, with the same radius, you go to the other end of the base, which is here. You mark another arc here and here. This one is not intersecting it well. Let me extend this one. I come back to this place and I'll extend it very well so that it will intersect it very well. They are intersecting here. So I can now draw my bisector here and here. I'll draw my bisector. That's my bisector. After drawing the bisector, I will now use where the bisector and that 90 degree that I drew, I measured the other time, I'll use that where they meet. I'll use it as center, which is this point. This is the bisector, and that's my angle that forms 90 degrees. So I'll now put it on the end of the base like this. Then I'll draw an arc like that. So that's it. There's a little bit error. That's why it's falling outside. Ordinarily, it should actually be on this point. So what I've done now, remember the vertical angle that I was given was 60, which is from here to here. I now completed it to be 90 by adding 30 to it. So this one gave me my 90. Assuming, for example, if this place is 75, if I want to draw this line, that means I need to add 15 to it to get 90 degrees. So by the time I put it like this, it must be 90. That means in that case, I will add only 15. But in this case, because it's a 60, I added 30 to complete it 90 degrees. So after doing that, the next thing I want to do is to get the altitude of my question. What was the altitude? It says the altitude is 45. Altitude and vertical height, so that's 45 and 60. So 45 is for the altitude. So I'll measure 45 on from the center, measure 45. Any vertical line that you have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the point of my altitude. What do I do with that? I will now transfer it either to the right or to the left. So it depends on your choice. It's either I transfer it here or here, but I want to use this place, so I'll just pick this point. I don't need to draw the line. Just pick the point. After picking the point, so you just join to that place. So it will come like this and like this. It must come from the end and like that. So that will be the required triangle. So if you are asked to state the length of the triangle, just measure them one after the other. So that's the way to construct a triangle, given the base, one of the base angles, the base length and the altitude. The vertical angle, the base length and the altitude. We are given the vertical angle, the base length and the altitude. So thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, do like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Thank you. We'll meet in the next video.